Joe, Dre, John, Chris, and Dave. And now, without further ado, presenting the final word.
Hello, happy Wednesday. Coming to you live on a Wednesday.
It's a happy Wednesday.
As opposed to a Monday because we had things to do. So I've been away for a while. I apologize, but I am back. We got a jam-packed show. We got a lot of good content to go through.
Damn pony.
And time.
Dave's going to take us through his what you going to take us through today? You got some stuff, right?
Yeah, we'll talk about the Hillsborough County Public School Championships next week.
Today. You got some stuff.
And then and then we'll also talk about district tournament that start in a week and a half, but these games this week will mean a lot as going to district standings to regionals. So just clear up a couple things that have been on social media, educate everybody, and we'll go from there. We're excited to be. It's been 2 weeks, I think, right, since we've done a show. 3 weeks without Joe, which is our he's the captain of the ship.
The anchor.
John did a pretty good job.
John did a great job, man.
Did a great job.
He did do a great job.
I appreciate
Ain't
that.
bash nobody.
So
I ain't calling nobody no boo.
Dre has been real chatty patty. So we're going to have some, we actually we're going to start off with the Nuggets by Dre. So I know Taurus is getting his intro queued up. But Dre has been up. There it is. The stream, Big Chatty Patty.
Chatty patty. Just find stuff and put it in the group.
We'll talk about it again, but thanks to Tampa Bay basketball officials for sponsoring this week's show once again. We appreciate it. So
Put in the work to deliver great content that encourages thought and provokes conversation. Presenting Nuggets by Dre.
All right, so we're going to go to Mr. Chatty Patty's.
Come on, Chatty Patty.
Just change my name.
He should make his new name, Chatty Patty, with a big old church hat on.
So first off, we got up first, getting priced out. All right, so take us to it.
What you got?
Damn, he got
I sent so much stuff.
That's all Dre's?
All NATO. NATO been, that's why I say he been Chatty Patty.
man.
That's his ass been missing.
you know in school back we had the Cliff Notes. Dre's looking for those yellow.
Damn Cliff Notes.
I remember doing that. All right, play it, Taurus.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We waiting on Taurus.
I thought y'all were.
Damn, you still on vacation with Chatty Patty?
21.
Damn.
Oh my God.
Top 21?
I should have just put top plays so y'all can't see. See how Chatty Patty y'all though? Taurus, you
I'd rather be
slacking
chatty.
today, man.
I'd rather be chatty than itchy.
Download the right.
Oh, okay. No problem.
You can get into the topic though.
So we got getting priced out. We got playing the zone. I know we talked about that. Start versus finish. Parents pushing kids. We got a Nick Saban video. Then we're going to go to Dave straight from the source. And then we got the Average Joe's rankings, which already came out. I'm just going to recap. And then you got the top 21 plays. So that's how we going to do it. And here we go for the first Chatty Patty.
What Pooh you got to say?
Hold on, I gotta get the audio.
Yep, still got a little technical difficulties.
We're just trying to get back into the groove of things.
Yep. So, John, y'all at the Gaylord this weekend, huh?
Yep.
And you going to be missing one of your key guys?
Hopefully not, but the word on the street is possibly. But yeah, they did a new division though. They took out D1 and doing a circuit division.
Oh, so they put you going in the B division? No?
Hell nah. I don't do nothing B's until they're just in school, bitch.
One of the biggest changes to the youth basketball landscape is the fact that poor people are being priced out. 10 years ago, the assumption was that the kid from the projects was going to be more athletic, bigger, stronger, faster, more skilled, and just tougher than the kid from the suburbs. But now, with the influx of personalized skill training, weight training, nutrition planning, all the things that the pros do now becoming standard at younger and younger levels, the kid from the suburbs has caught up to and basically past the kid from the projects. If you can't afford personalized skill training, how are you supposed to keep up? The next thing is that the expectations have changed. People want a quote unquote finished product at a younger and younger age, so kids have less time to develop socially, emotionally, academically, and the time that was normally given for you to be able to help kids work past some of the issues that might have come from being in a disadvantaged situation just doesn't exist. So now those resources are going to an international kid that's showing up and is 6'8", 6'10", 7 feet, that also doesn't have some of those issues. They've already been vetted before they get their I-20. Add to this the advent of social media and the fact that kids don't even get to make mistakes in private. And most people are looking at the cost of doing this and saying, am I going to invest my resources and also attach my job to a kid that has issues that might get me fired? The fact is, a lot of this stuff is tied to kids' socioeconomic status, and poor people are being priced out, and nobody's talking about it.
Do you guys agree with that? It's kind of like two parts. So do you guys agree?
It's a gift and a curse. So you got a program like the Skill Center, and trainers like Chris that is not, it's affordable, you know, for kids to come in and get training and, you know, to be a part of an organization and get developed as an individual. But then you have the advantaged people. Like for instance, I used to work with D. Brown.
D. Brown?
D. Brown, and he had a facility down in Orlando, and he had all of the top-notch economic stuff in there, that just tell you angles and all that type of stuff, how to move, and he worked out a lot of NBA players. And you had kids that was coming in there too that were, kids that can afford to do that, that can afford to do that. And it's a difference, like overseas. Okay, when I played ball overseas, those kids can turn pro when they 14, 15 years old because they don't have high school basketball or middle school basketball. They just have organizations. They just have club ball. So there's a disconnect and also there's a connection. So it just depends on, it ain't basically what you know, it's pretty much who you know. And those kids that are socially disadvantaged, and this is just my opinion, when you have that diamond in the rough, depends on who they get attached to. Right. Some people use those kids for what they can do for them. You know what I'm saying? And they pay it, they can pay their way to different things. You know what I'm saying? Like travel ball teams.
Right.
Okay, we want these kids, so we can pay for their flights and all this type of stuff because we really want them because they really can't afford it. So it's a gift and a curse. It's a good thing, but then it can be a bad thing. Just depends on how they use the kid. So that's the way I view it.
So do you think they're getting priced out?
No, I don't think they're getting priced out because the kids that are, you can get better without going to those trainings.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It just depends on your drive. So I don't think it's getting priced out.
Yeah, I don't think. Now there are some organizations who it's about that money, but I think there's a vast majority who are trying to help and don't look at the money. A lot of organizations do charge a lot, but I'm pretty sure if that kid can play, like he said, they want the finished product. Like for us, I mean, I got a kid right now who's probably one of my better players now, but 2 years ago he was on the B team. And, you got to see, like you said, the diamond in the rough. But I don't think they're getting priced out, especially nowadays. There's 50 million teams you can play with, But
and even so with training, just like, and you said it, Dre, like we've never turned a kid away, not based on pricing. And that's why we're located where we're located, and we always have been and will be. I worked at IMG for 10 years, and they have the best of everything. That doesn't mean because the kids have, the kid have the best for everything that they're going to be that skill level. They just have the resources. That doesn't mean they're good enough to take those resources and use them and make it to where they can be a better player. So I've watched it from a point where you have the Gatorade Institute on campus, mental conditioning. You have everything that you need on that campus, and you still have kids that you're bringing from these socially economic disadvantaged areas to be your scholarship kids on your campus, because that's the kid that's going to help you bring in those kids that can pay, because they're bringing in the coaches, they're bringing in the NBA scouts. Those kids from those socially disadvantaged areas are bringing in the head coaches into that institution. So IMG is able to make money by having those players on their campus and scholarshiping those kids. So that's why I said if a kid is talented and kids have opportunity, there are enough basketball programs in the hood, in communities that don't have, they may not have shooting machines. They may not have the things, the Divertimaxes and things that are going to help them, but they have a whole bunch of resources that can help them. And usually the resources come from the coaches that they have access to, because most of the players, I know where we grew up, those are the players that are most time, especially ones that are really impactful. Those are the ones that are giving back to the community, like a Willie Anderson or our coach Josh over at with Q6. Those are the guys that make it to where they don't turn kids away, and they can make it affordable by showing kids to go out and sell bottles of water to get it, or work carnivals to raise money, whatever they need to do to help these kids.
Do you think that these people that charge for tryouts, do they allow a kid who can't afford it, or do the kids that can't afford it still pay for those tryouts?
I think it varies. Like, for example, when I played travel ball, Chris Hockley's got, we had a phone book back in the day, and me and my dad have the same name, so they looked in the phone book, called the house, and that's how they got in contact with me. But I didn't pay, and Damon Smith didn't pay. But I think a bunch of the other kids, we had some kids on the bench that didn't play much, that weren't very good. I'm pretty sure all of them paid. Somebody paid something.
Right. Something.
Because
yep.
we was on the team, we had uniforms, we went on the road, we traveled, we stayed in hotels. And if I would have had to pay, I wasn't playing, because my folks didn't have it and wasn't going to give it. If they did have it, not to go play basketball, I better take my ass to that park. You know what I mean? So, I guess it kind of varies. I do feel that, kids going into a facility and having all of the resources that the guy named with the nutrition stuff, which goes well beyond what most do. The weight training, strength and agility, and all that stuff is expensive.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know what I pay for my kid is expensive.
I know I don't pay, and that's expensive.
Right.
That's why.
Exactly. And but I think it does put some kids at a competitive advantage for others who might not have some of those things.
But that's a business, so that's what transitioned everything into a business. So
Right.
it's a business model, because we didn't have that when we came up. We were self-made.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kids still out there that are self-made. I mean, you just put together education, say a kid going to, a public school or to a Tampa Prep or a Berkeley. The resources they have are more concentrated and more available. But a Tampa Prep and Berkeley also have resources for those kids that can't afford it.
See, my son went to, and I think a lot of it is comparable. My son went to Tampa Prep, but he also goes to Blake now, so I see the difference. Him going to Tampa Prep and getting the schooling they have over there, it puts him at a competitive advantage over a kid going to a regular public school because of the resources and all the stuff they put into, the teachers at Tampa Prep. They make more just the modern type of teaching in classrooms they have and all of that stuff.
Just the thought process.
Right, but it doesn't say that someone at Blake or a public school can put in the grind, get educated at home, go above and beyond, and be better than someone at Tampa Prep. Now, yes, it does give them a competitive advantage for what they learn over there, but the extra work just has to be put in. And it's the same thing with basketball.
Yeah, I mean, what was the title of this? What's the header on this?
Getting priced out.
Poor getting priced up.
John and I talk about this all the time. Like, I really struggle with it because if you go to areas where, kids that can afford it, and they're saying travel basketball costs $2,200, and you go there and you have a miserable experience because all they want is your money to then fund their two teams that are good in the area. Then we're not exposing to them. Like I can say it on the show. Like I took Jackson out of his comfort zone in third grade, and people laughed at Christy and I when we did it. Like we let South Tampa Y. I remember, John, what was that gym you sent me up to? Up by USF. No, there's outdoor courts. UHDC or whatever.
Yeah, Suitcase City.
Yes, sir.
and we drove there every week, and people were like, "Why are you going to an outdoor court?" The week before, I mean, there was an incident there. Like,
oh yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah,
our girls was running.
And so, but then you have people. You got these other organizations that are saying we're the best of the best. They go, and then they have a miserable experience about it, and they're saying, "Well, I spent $2,200. I'm expecting a Maserati, and you're giving me a Toyota Pinto." And so, I have a real struggle when we're not helping our youth by exposing them to an opportunity, and we're just taking money from them versus giving them an opportunity. And it doesn't matter where you play. Like I can say it, and John and I talk about it all the time. We're the lowest cost travel program that charges in Tampa. And these other ones are, that say they compete with us are charging 3x what John and Chris pass on to people, and their experience, it gets terrible. But we have kids that don't want to go do travel basketball because the only thing they see is a flyer that's $2,200. And so there might not be a kid that wants to go and do it because the parents don't want to get it. So to flip it, I think we actually lose some kids early on that could benefit by being at the skills center and being with kids that they don't go to school with every single day.
I would say maybe early on, but if a kid can play, like Joe said, they're not going to pay. I think it goes into the development side.
But the kid that can pay, and we know, go play there and they have a horrible experience and they don't play travel.
But I think the subject is, are they getting
priced out?
Are they getting priced out? So my thing is,
but we need more people like you and Chris.
Well, everybody have do what the skills center does.
Correct. That's my point.
Right. I can agree with that. But what I'm saying is, I think it hurts more the development kids.
John, we got 3
They're the ones that are getting priced out.
We got 3 kids last year on our team that would have not played for us because they couldn't afford playing with the other organization, and they didn't even want to they didn't want to help them out. That's the problem I have with it.
But for me, the question is, I don't think if you can play, those kids, if you can play and can't pay, those kids aren't getting priced out by anybody. The ones that you got to
did.
No, listen what I'm saying. The ones that you have to develop are getting, in my opinion, getting priced out because they don't want to waste their time.
I get what you're saying.
And they can't pay.
Right, correct.
That's what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And so you know me, I would take a kid that can't play and still make sure they're covered and all that stuff.
Especially if their parents is big.
So we got Greg Doss on the line. So Greg, you want to chime in on this topic?
Well, I'm listening, and I was kind of shocked when man said $2,200 to play. But my primary question was, and Chris, you hit on something that Heavy talks to me about all the time about the resources. But do you think these young guys actually pay so they can become better alone, or do they pay so they can get scholarships or be seen by pros?
Man, that's interesting. I hope they're not paying so they can be seen by pros. But I honestly, just say for example, like an IMG, kids pay there so they pay to go there because the Dukes, the North Carolinas, all the high major colleges and D1 colleges are going to be on campus, and they want to be seen by those colleges. They want to actually go there and possibly be recruited, and they want to use all the resources that they can. They feel that just because they're with IMG, they'll be considered for these schools based on the name of the that's on their chest. So it's like Dre said, it's a gift and a curse because some kids go there actually to get better and really try to hone in on their basketball skills, but majority of them go there because of wanting to go to these high major schools and be a part of something that's bigger than whatever they have going on in their city.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Guys, great show. And I'm going to keep on listening online. Keep doing what you're doing. And I think we're traveling out there to see somebody tomorrow.
I appreciate that, brother.
Hey, y'all take care, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we went a little long on that segment, so let's go to the next chatty patty topic that Mr. Dre says.
We'll get Chris a segment. We'll get Chris a segment called long-winded.
What was the next nugget? The next nugget was playing zone.
We'll get Chris a segment called long-winded.
It's good stuff, though. Good stuff.
Tell Dre to stop sending all this damn stuff.
So
Save it for the show.
So I want this to go on record. Now these Skip Center guys over here.
When
that new building opened up.
Hell no.
And these kids can't afford it.
Well, yeah, come see Chris.
All them 4 Vertimaxes y'all got in there. I want to see all them chilling on them Vertimaxes. And aren't you getting all your coaches Vertimax trained?
Yes, I am, Joe. That
Covering all the Skip Center coaches to get Vertimax trained. I'm gonna be the first one in line to get that certification.
I know you are.
I'm gonna get me a business card. I'm gonna put it on there. Vertimax certified.
Yeah, you should.
And them chilling go be in there.
Hey, listen, there's one thing that'll never happen. No matter what.
Never turn nobody away.
Never turn a kid away. Never.
All right.
Never. I could be in the.
Now you asking for bank statements and all that stuff?
No.
You putting that in there now? Somebody gonna say I ain't got it.
Man, listen, I ain't never turned a
You
kid
have a whole
away.
lot out there.
But
now.
don't. Hey, I'm gonna be real though. Don't ask for free and you coming in with your nails done, good hair, a Lexus. I'm gonna keep it 100.
So
better take your ass back to the back of the line. Yo, you better come in here bald headed.
Hey, drive your gremlin.
Hey,
yo.
Taking kids home.
Bald headed, come in your pajamas.
Yeah, man.
If you got a baby, make sure they got a poopy diaper when they come in there.
No clothes on, no
right.
shoes
With
on.
candy, with the candy stuck right here on their cheek. Then we can talk about it.
Baby boy. I don't know who you messing with.
What the hell is baby? All right, hit the source for the next one.
That's true. You call him baby. Where is baby? Right.
I don't teach them because I think you have to learn man-to-man concepts. There's a difference to me between developing kids and their understanding of basketball and trying to win games as 9 and 10-year-olds. Two are not the same. 9 and 10-year-olds, generally speaking, the majority of them can't pass the ball more than 10 to 15 feet unless they get a running start or they throw a one-handed football type pass. Most of them can't shoot three-pointers with any level of efficiency. Running a zone, it's a cheat code. It's a means to stay in ball games and try to win because you're too lazy to teach man-to-man concepts, right? At this age, certainly by the time the kids are 12, 13 years old, you should be introducing zone concepts. You need to be able to break a zone. You need to be able to learn how to play zone, all that stuff. It's the same thing like we have rules around pressing where like each tournament we go to within our city league, I think it's last 2 minutes or last 3 minutes, you can press. But there are certainly teams in America at 9 years old, 8 years old that are allowed to press all game. What is the point of that? How are you helping these kids understand how to play basketball?
I divert that quick to John.
To me?
Yeah.
So let's start with the rec league. 6 to 8-year-old rec league, we cannot play zone. We do not play zone. Everything is man-to-man. It is hard, though, to teach a kid to say, hey, guard your man, because now they're just chasing the man. So it's hard to teach that help concept. And then if you teach that help concept, it turns into a zone. And the adult coaches are slick with it. Nah, he's just on help side. Nah, he's staying in the zone. So I think it is good to teach man-to-man first. However, when he says, I agree with him and I disagree. So I think my team in the 3rd and 2nd grade, we moved that ball really good. So when he says, oh, they can't do it, this day and age, a lot of these younger kids can't really pass the ball like that, can't really do that. I play a lot of zone, but I play a matchup zone. So like what he says, it's more of a man-to-man concept. Everything I teach is about, yo, you can't be in no man's land. You got to be active. You got to be touching somebody. You got to guard that area where that man is. But I think it's true. You got to teach man-to-man concept because once you get to high school and in college, you can't guard somebody. I always say, if you can't guard somebody one-on-one, you can't play this game.
So when I started my travel team, we were second grade. We strictly played man, full court man-to-man defense. They were always taught help side. Like I'm a defense first coach. I did not play a zone at all. We got to the point, and I was always saying that because skills that you pick up in a man-to-man are transferable to a zone where they can play zone. And I always thought it was ridiculous because like you would see like the family and some of them teams up north, and we got the best team, this and that other. They would run that diamond press, which is why still to this day I call that a little boy press. And I call it a little boy press for the same reasons that J.J. Redick said it, because the kids don't have the strength to throw that long pass and all of that stuff. Once they get older and they can throw a pass, pass half court and stuff like that, those presses don't work. And so I love when a team would jump into a diamond press once we got older. But what they do is those young kids, like you think about our third grade team that I saw play this weekend, and all of the teams are doing it, including ours.
Right.
They'll inbound the ball right here. Two guys will come in trap, and then they'll cut off the next pass because the kids don't have the height or the strength to throw the long pass over the top. So they trap, get a steal, layup, trap, get a steal, layup, trap, and then it's just bad basketball. The kids aren't learning anything. You know what I'm saying? So with my team, I never did that, and we used to play against teams all the time. So two things I focus on. We were going to play man-to-man, and everybody's going to handle the ball. Third grade, our first time, we were actually playing the Lehigh Devils at UT, back when they used to let us come to UT and do tournaments. We were up 30, and then the ref said, hey, no, y'all up 30, y'all got to get in the zone.
Yeah, or behind the three-point line.
Play behind the 3-point line.
Play behind three? No, you say you got to play a zone.
Yeah.
So my whole team was like, they was like, what? What is that? Like, they didn't even know what a zone was. So I had to call a timeout, go out there and show them, okay, you got two guys up here, like show them what a zone was. I had to use another timeout to show them what, you know what I mean, because we had never played zone before. That was the first time. And so then I was like, okay, I need to work in the zone just in case this happened again. They'll know what to do. You know what I mean? And we were better for it. Now fast forward to fourth grade. I got Cameron Tyler, Caleb Williams, strong guys that could throw that long pass. I would stack at the free throw line and I would stack at half court. Both of them would come off. This stack was a decoy. Back there, I got one guy to guard two. Whichever way he goes, you throw the opposite. We got a 2-on-1 break. I haven't had a press break since fourth grade. Now, at the younger ages, you had to put in the press break, but I didn't have a press break since fourth grade.
But the younger ages, you still have athletes.
Right.
And if you had those athletes, those the one that did the most.
Correct.
And especially in a man-to-man. Because I know at the YMCA, they put the little wristband on you.
Follow that guy.
Hey, you follow this guy and you follow this guy. And if you got that one dude that can handle it, he going to lay up all day long. And now just depending on the coaches,
because they don't let you play defense.
If he want to win or lose, he would change that concept because of that one kid. You know, there can't nobody stop.
No, I do a lot of man-to-man in practice, but I'm going to be honest with you. I know Joe said that's a little boy press. We tear a bunch of 8th graders up, and we run the same.
Right, because it doesn't work. But it doesn't work against a good team. Because a good team,
we beat Atlanta Express with that same damn press.
But see, if you
why we do it,
8th grade,
man, and why we do it, because I have a middle guy who's like a freaking linebacker,
like Santonio was with us.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So he gets it every time. But now we flip it now. So now we either go full court man. Okay, we go to diamond. Okay, now I'm gonna throw in 2-2-1. So now it's very unexpected. But our niche, ours is like a man-to-man. Right. So our diamond is not just weak. I mean, so it depends on what kind of team you have.
Right.
Like I got athletes. So my athletes, it's not, if you do a diamond press, they pass one time, you jogging back. Nah, we ripping and running. And it's key on that middle guy. I mean, I seen some high school teams this past week that I probably can run my diamond press and get a bunch of damn steals.
You could 100%.
It is, but you got to have the mentality to run it.
Yeah, and I know I talked to Joe about it this weekend. We had this conversation about the same topic, and I said I'm guilty of it, and it made sense to me at the time because I've always had, and I'll say this, 1 or 2 guys on my team that can handle the ball, get us into situations. Well, if those kids ever got into foul trouble, we were in trouble.
Right.
Like we were, and the kids that I had handled in the basketball were either super aggressive on defense or super lazy on defense. So if we played man-to-man, they were going to get silly fouls that they would never remember. And so you got kids playing man-to-man that's going to get 3 fouls in the first half, 4 fouls in the first half. You got to sit them for most of the game, especially if they're your premier ball handler. So I would run a 2-3. That was our signature, our 2-3. We would stretch it out, but we ran man-to-man to teach kids the whole game. So, and it was just based on who we played. If we played a team, I give you an example, a team like when we were younger, Lakeland Fire.
Right.
Mm-hmm. We know they were going to be super aggressive. Right. We know they were going to get up and down the floor. To death. We know they were going to get up and down the floor. So because they were we had to get our ass back and get into a zone.
Correct.
And the one thing they couldn't do was shoot the ball. The one thing they could do is beat the hell out of you in transition. So so everything was situational. And I'm guilty of it. And I think there are some points in it because if you watch kids now, how many kids on each team would be a lock and loaded defender and know how to turn people, know how to beat people to spots, know how to help. These kids are lost on defense, and they choose not to play defense because they've never been taught how to play defense. Like they don't understand the defensive concepts.
That's true.
Yeah. Right, and I can agree. I can attest to that.
How do you know this, Dre?
So coming up in the rinks, we all got kids that are in the game that are older now. So middle school, you taught those defensive principles, right? So now you get to high school to where you're really not dealing with the young guys anymore. So now I only get them when I see them as freshmen when they come in and try out. And they are so far behind just defensively to where, like I told you, this fall league, all we worked on was defense, just the whole defense. Now, once they got those jerseys, I don't know where that defense went because it was just a false sense, once they got the jersey. But now I had to revert to a 2-3 zone, which works for us. And why does it work for us? Because you have a lot of one-on-one players.
Right, you're right about that.
They go to those trainers and want to work on these moves. And most people don't know how to adjust to the zone. They just rely on the 3-ball.
Correct.
So it gives us more
movement,
more of a chance.
Slow the game down, everything.
Slow the game and give us more.
What teams have y'all seen that play man-to-man in high school right now this year that their soul is man-to-man?
Freedom. Blake plays a lot of man. Blake plays man.
Sometimes old lady. Sometimes old lady.
Well, they do that. They run that 2-2-1.
Sometimes old lady.
2-2-1, and they jump into the little boy a little bit.
Play man?
90% man-to-man.
Yeah.
Freedom plays man.
Freedom plays
man.
TC
plays man.
Yep.
Plant City plays man.
Plant.
Okay. Jesuit plays man.
Who said Plant?
Willis played us, man, the entire last 3 games I played.
He ain't played Blake, man. He packed into that thing tight.
Well, I would have too. I would have too against Blake. I would have packed that business.
Don't get on here and cap and say they play man. They play man who they know they can mess with.
Even though you have a press, you can't.
You go man to man against
No, you
Blake.
cannot.
You got everybody crashing the board.
Leto played man. Straight up, man.
Boards.
Straight up, man. Leto played, man.
Well, you got guards that could match up, and then you don't have anybody from Blake.
No, they should have been posting up.
Wait, listen. That's what I was going to say.
Okay, because say not a matchup.
Wait, listen. If you had someone go down there and post up, I guarantee you Leto would have got out of that man.
Yes.
If you went high-low, I guarantee you Leto would have got out of the man.
Hey, I ain't coaching, man.
I'm just saying. I wasn't at the game, but I'm just saying.
Now, Jesuit
you put
runs
a 6'8" kid in the post.
Oh, yeah.
Jesuit does zone first half. Zone first half, and then they
but their zone is pretty damn good.
No, their zone is pretty good. But if you can get up,
not against Blake, they packed into that zone tight too.
No, their zone's extended.
I wouldn't.
But if you get up,
don't get on here and say they play man, because if you play, that's like a fake tough guy. If you're gonna be a tough guy, be tough with everybody. Don't
Nah,
be so-
hell no. That's a dumb tough guy.
No, ain't no dumb tough
If you
guy.
can't shoot, I ain't guarding you man to man.
If you a tough guy, you be tough all the time with everybody.
No, what?
If you gonna sit on
No.
say, yes,
You gotta be
absolutely.
smart.
No way.
Absolutely, like the guys in the NBA, like they be trying to be like, okay, for Ron Artest, everybody or Meta World Peace, whatever. Mama name him Ron, I'm gonna call him Ron. He a tough guy, right? Everybody say he a tough guy. All right. So Ben Wallace mushed him in the face with 2 hands and threw a towel in his face. He wanted no part of that.
No, he was a tough, smart guy at that point.
Yeah, be tough with Ben. Now, did the fan throw a cup on him? He up there in the
Knocked him out.
stands.
So-
you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying.
But-
so if you gonna play man like Leto play man everybody.
That don't make sense.
That
That doesn't make sense.
No.
Here's why.
That's probably their best defense.
No, listen, here's why. For us, we were going to play man. If you couldn't handle the ball, we were going to guard you the whole game full court. We were going to go man to man, and we were going to live off your mistakes, off your basketball mistakes. If you're a team that was pretty strong on the boards, everybody crashing the boards offensively, you play downhill, we were going to pack it in, and you couldn't shoot. We're gonna play zone. Right. That's called basketball IQ. That don't have nothing to do with
Absolutely.
being tough.
And Coach Delgado at Leto has high basketball IQ, but man to man is his best defense.
Because he likes to play fast.
Yes.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Y'all should have went to a zone.
I'm not knocking what anybody do. I'm just saying, don't come on here talking about they play man, strictly man.
Hey, listen, check this out, though.
That wasn't the question. The question was who plays good man defense.
No, let's see who plays man. That ain't that wasn't good. Who plays man to man.
Let's see when they get outside of this area what they have to do.
Who?
You got to switch it up if you get beat.
Who?
If they're not big enough and they get outside of this area.
I watched them play against
Like I said, if they're not big enough and they get outside of this area and they get beat on the boards, they're going to have to go to something that's going to help.
I watched them play Edgewater, and they stuck to that man the whole time.
They won.
That's because
they came back and made it. They made it real.
This is just my
close.
opinion.
Okay.
That's because they can match up offensively. They got people who can score buckets.
They got this.
No.
They
There
got
you
heart.
go, machismo.
They got heart and they got
But
pride.
if you score on me, I got some players down here gonna come right back down here and score.
But they got heart. They're undersized,
Yeah.
but the big guys like number 1 Johnny, the kid that went with the Bishop, that he's back with them now. The big in the middle, real crafty. 22, I think he wears.
The Hispanic kid?
Yeah. Those guys, they got heart, man. Like they got
That's
heart.
hard.
They got heart and they got pride. And
You want to win
play
basketball games or you want to have heart and pride?
And they winning.
Okay.
But this is my thing.
That sounds good in the area.
I'm not knocking. I'm just saying. You said who plays? Because what was the question? Who plays strictly
Who
man?
plays man?
He didn't say strictly.
No,
he, didn't,
strictly.
he did not
He
say
said-
strictly.
I don't remember
You
now.
said who
Play
plays
tape
man?
back. I said who plays man in Hillsborough County.
Right. And so that's man. Everybody plays man to man at some point. So that don't even make sense. Who plays man means who plays man all the time. And that's, and
I think TC plays
Leto
man
plays man
majority
all
of
the
the
time.
time.
If you play Blake, you play in
TC
man or
play-
zone.
TC played.
You play Blake, you play in man or
Who
zone.
they play?
They too big for me, so I probably would
You
pack
play
it
Blake,
in.
you play man or zone.
I played them.
I'm not knocking that,
You
but I'm
play
just
the zone?
saying, don't come on here and say.
But if I play Strawberry Crest, I might go zone. I mean, man.
No.
Don't come on here and say
man and you
plays
go
man, and they don't when they play zone the whole game against a team.
Against one team, though.
Well, you don't play man, or you don't play strictly man. Who plays man means because everybody plays man at some point.
I mean, majority
So
of the time.
if that's what the question's going to be when John says, well, who plays man?
Everybody.
Everybody.
There's not a team out there that just strictly. I mean, they
I
strictly.
think TC is the one that I've seen that plays man all the time.
It's based on matchups.
Blake actually went zone against Leto a little bit. Tried to. They hadn't played it all year, but they tried to.
That would have been their best bet because they're long.
It's based on matchups. That's just basketball. It's based on matchups. It's like who you start. It's based on matchups.
Because if I'm coaching, I play zone. I love a 2-3.
I love it. I love a matchup.
I love
2-3.
Syracuse and I love Old
Yep.
Georgetown.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't think.
I love 2-3 zone. I love a 2-3.
But that's why it all depends.
2-1-2.
If I was Blake, I'd do a 3-2, and I'd
Man,
put
long.
JoJo, Josh, and
I
Kentrell
run
on top.
2-1-2 for
Now
me.
y'all going into coaching strategy now.
2-1-2 for me. All right, so
because they're away from the basket and they won't be able to.
next time we don't went too chatty patty on the chatty pattiness.
How you gonna pass the ball?
We got them.
I'm good.
Dude, their wingspan, that was like a 747.
I want to see it. But I think, go ahead, but I think TC plays man because they got that point guard who locks up. So he's the engine of
But
that
they
defense.
play zone. I watched them a lot this year. I've seen them. They've
Zone?
played some zone too. I
Because a lot of teams struggle.
Their best defenses, man.
That's what
But
I
in
think.
certain
yeah.
situations, they'll go zone.
Does Slam run any zone, or are they strictly man?
Oh, they might.
I can't
play
remember
zone,
if
too.
Slam plays zone or not. I've seen them a bit too. I can't remember if they
I don't
play.
think I've
A
ever seen
good
them
team
play.
should be able to do both. My
Yeah,
opinion.
it's just
You
it's
can't just
based
say
on
I'm a man,
situation.
I'm a zone.
2-1-2 is my favorite zone. The old Georgetown back in the day when they had Matumbo, Patrick Ewing,
Like
Church-
half court
Churchwell.
2-1-2?
No, 2-1-2 in that paint, just straight.
That's what I mean, in the half court.
Rejection row in that bet. He's called it rejection row.
Yeah, boy.
Everything getting
The
blocked.
only
back
bad
there.
thing about that backside, that bottom man, you got to be in shape, boy, because you running that baseline. Getting
He
to
said
them
2-1-2.
corners.
No,
2-1-2.
Oh, I'm thinking 1-3-1.
No, 2-1-2. Yep.
So where do you like put JoJo in that?
Top.
No,
The top.
I put them. You got rim protection, so you got your bigs across the bottom. You got your shot blockers in the back.
KJ in the
Rejection
middle.
row.
My length on the
Rejection
side.
row.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. What's next?
1-3-1 was awesome
It's
defense.
just hard
the
to teach
problem
that
is your
1-3-1.
bottom
One
It's
three one.
gotta
You
be a
got.
track
I'm putting
runner.
my shooters in the corners, and I'm gonna run you out of that 1-3-1.
that's fine.
It's hard to teach that, man.
1-3-1.
Yeah, it's
5-out motion. My burn you from the corners.
I like
You put
that.
JT in the corner.
Yep.
Josh in
Yeah,
there.
I would
That's
trap
what,
his
that's what,
little
we,
ass
that's
over
what
that
I've done
corner.
for years.
No one's running a 1.
All right, Torres, what's next?
Torres, you kind of slow on the thing today now.
All right.
Come on, Torres.
Start versus finish.
He gets promoted with the Lakeland Tigers.
Big Darryl say those kids
man.
they can't afford. He said to have them sell donuts and that real famous chocolate.
That's real, though.
Hey,
Does that real
most of-
famous chocolate make good money?
Man,
Yes.
hell yeah.
They-
'cause
small-
you,
they're
yeah,
smaller
'cause
than that,
you know
man.
what? Yeah, they are smaller. Because the kids eat up all the damn chocolate. You got to buy the box.
I got a whooping, bro, for doing that.
You got to buy the whole damn box. So, yeah, they get it.
I love chocolate. They'll put Pookie in the crack house, gave me that world famous chocolate.
Boy,
Man, I ate
the
about 2
almonds used to be
boxes.
that big. And
Good ass whooping. I couldn't wait.
to get through. All right.
There you go.
We used to be like, man, don't even worry about this. It's a long season. You know, how it starts is never how it finishes. Right? He said, so when they call your name, which they will, be ready. Right? So it was like, it ain't about the reward. It's about just getting better. We're going to get better. So you're going to be better in 3 months than you were today. And that's all that matters. Right? So you ain't ready yet, but let's get you ready in 3 months. And then that's what we did. So, you know, it was one of those where I could have just sat there and just been miserable that I'm on the bench, not playing, grinding, not seeing a reward, or just go in there and just say, F it, you know, just get better. And when they do call my name, I'll be ready to play. So that was really where, so when they did call my name and I was better than I was before. From there, it was like, oh, this is the path I want. Just grind, 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 grind. And don't worry about the success because the success is the grind for me. Also fast.
Yeah.
I was in that
ready.
gym all day, dog.
Yeah. He was ready. When the opportunity met itself, he was ready.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree.
What do y'all think?
That is correct. I can totally agree with him. Because like I said, parents and kids, you have some of them think their kids should be starting or what have you. And some coaches have strategies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know, it's chemistry.
Yep.
You know, those with the team because you're gonna need some type of firepower coming off of the bench.
Yep.
So just be ready when your name is called. You know, some of them just sit there and you know and think they're better than this kid and they should be playing more. But there are a lot of things that comes with basketball. Like for example, if a team is pressing me, I may have a kid on the bench who can play, but he's not good with breaking the press. You know, he's a turnover machine, so I can't play you that much. So you just got to get better at that so I can pay you. Now, if a team is playing a man-to-man and you're that kid, your minutes gonna go up. So I think kids don't understand that, and parents don't understand that as far as the concepts and stuff coaches use players. And I'm not saying all players, but these players that have those lack of skills. So, but at the end of the day, You just have to be ready when your name is called and value those minutes when you're out there.
Right. So younger kids, I think parents don't understand that. Parents is like, my kid is already there type of situation. Some parents, if my kid don't start, it's a problem. And it's not, because like you said, it is a team concept. You may have 5 players that mesh well together. Now you got this quote unquote shooter to come off the bench, or you might start a shooter, but the better overall player comes off the bench because he brings more energy. As you get older, I mean, you should always have that mindset. You should always be better. I told my 4th grade parents tonight, you got to be ready, but don't get upset that you're not getting the minutes, or don't get upset that you're not playing as much. Like, what are you doing outside of practice? Like, you got to have that mindset. When I moved from Europe to Oklahoma, and as a junior, I had to sit the bench on JV. A, I wasn't known, and B, I had to prove myself. And as much as I felt I was better, I didn't play a lot. Senior year come around, they told me that the freshman coming up will be the starting point guard.
Johnny Jones.
Yep, work at T-Mobile.
My coworker now.
Is he still here now? Yeah. So they said that he was going to be the starting. Johnny Jones ended up being an All-American free safety. He was also our quarterback in Oklahoma. And but I could have just said, then I'm not going to be here. You already telling me I'm not playing. My dad said you can do 2 things. Go run track, because can't nobody sit you on the bench. You know what I mean?
Individual sport.
Individual sport.
Yeah, they can, though.
No, you can, if you can't run. Or go to this, we had a Christian school called Lawton Christian, or go over there and be the man. I was like, nah. So I ended up going to all the summer camps with the team. I was smart. Johnny had to do what during the summer?
Football.
He had to play football. So let me get this lead right fast. So I got some respect on that note, and I ended up starting. The beginning of the year, me and Johnny were going back and forth, and finally towards the end, I started. But I could have had that mindset, was like, I'm being bullied, or I'm being, pushed away, whatever. But I didn't have a parent like that. A lot of these new age parents are like that. And they got to get out that mindset, because you're teaching these kids that, I'm a victim. And I've never had that concept. So you got to always get better. And I think that's the key word.
So he said a couple of things to me. The one thing he talked about, 3 months. He used the term 3 months. I feel like basketball is in dog years. Every 3 months is equivalent to a year. I've been, saying that for the longest, because you can improve so much in a 3-month span that it's like through the roof. So that's why when you have a kid that has that early September birthday, they're on the older end, which a kid that might be, let's say, born in March or so, those kids are basketball years are 2 years older than a kid, even though they were, what I'm saying? So even though it's just 6 months, that's like a 2-year difference because of how much you can improve in 6 months. I think about myself when I first went off to school. Where you going to school in August or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
By the time I came home for Christmas break and went to the same gym playing against the guys that I used to be in dog fights with, it was like a man against boys. Right. And I didn't even realize I had gotten so much better until I went off and was, getting that training, playing against these bigger, stronger guys. And I come home and then it's like taking candy from a baby. Same people that I had been playing against, and that's a 3-month span. I had been gone for a year in basketball years.
I'm big on it because I have a son that was a product of this same conversation, and the only thing I told him was to get better. And it's not just for basketball. Like, people view it just for basketball. If you teach your kid's going to be competitive in everything they do. Mm-hmm. Jobs, going after a house, car, girlfriend. So if you teach kids to, settle or to run from competition or conflict, that's what you're developing. So Tyson sat on the bench, and I know most parents probably would move their kids. Tyson sat on the bench. He didn't start until his senior year. This is a Division I kid, mid-major Division I kid. He was first team All-State his senior year, but he didn't start. The only reason he started his junior year is because during the playoffs, Jawan got hurt. That is the only reason he started. And he would complain and complain and complain. And for me, all I told my son is, get better. Get better. Because it's not just about the basketball game. If I let you quit here or give up here, this is what you're going to do in life. This is how it's going to be for you going forward. When you get into trouble about a job, you're going to quit. You're going to give up. Like, so you got to hold these kids accountable, and you got to push them. Like, you got to work. What do you want out of this? What you put right now, what he's getting paid for is
something that nobody thought he would be
in a million years. He's probably one of the best defenders in Europe right now in this space. And that's all because hold your kid accountable, make them work. That's it. Get better. It's not the coach's fault.
Right.
It's not. Get better. If you don't like it, don't quit until after the season.
Yeah, be so good that they can't sit you. Like
that's it.
You know, for like with JoJo, and you know, you can say I played daddy ball because I always recruited over my son. I always had him around guys that are better.
That's the whole point.
So he would know what it is to fight for a spot, to fight for a position. Fast forward, he gets to Tampa Prep. He's on varsity as an 8th grader. I used to be at the practices. I mean, I was like, okay, he's top 3 in my book, but 6th man at worst, you know, if you want to say that. And but, you know, I used to sit in the practices. I never said anything. And but I know Philon didn't really like to play young players. He does now a lot more since then, but he didn't really like to play young players. And I had to talk before his first game. I said, look, I don't know how much you're going to play, if you're going to play at all, because he played summer league with him, and he didn't get in. He maybe got a minute or 2 each game, and I felt like he was better than the majority of those kids. So now the season comes. I don't know how much you're going to play, but when your number is called, you get out there. You've been playing this game for years. You fight like hell. You fight like hell, and you get out there and you battle for the amount of time that you're going to be out there. First game, 12 guys played before JoJo got in. He gets in 2 minutes before halftime, gets in the game, changes the game completely.
Yep.
Second half starts, he didn't start. First guy to sub in was JoJo. He was the first one to sub in.
Right.
So he subs in the game, changes the game again. Next game, he was the 10th man up. Next game, he was like the 8th man up. And then when they played the Christmas tournament that they have every year, he got in, changed the game. Philon's son, Connor, was there. I think he was like, you need to start JoJo. So he started against Plant. That was his first start. And he started every game after that.
Did he play
Played
man?
Really well against Plant. He played
play man?
We did play man.
He did play man. He played really well against Plant. And then after that, he ended up probably playing more minutes than anybody else for the rest of the season. But had I just
coddled him.
Right, being the daddy ball that, you know, because you got good dads, you got bad dads. I feel like if you just giving your kid opportunity, I feel like you're a bad dad. If I would have been a bad dad, would he have fought for that position? No, he would have just gave up. And like, I'm getting screwed by the coach. There's no incentive for me to work.
But so what if he was like that going into his junior year?
Right, then you really got a problem.
I didn't. Get better.
No, meaning
I'm saying okay,
in
I
the
see what you
situation.
mean.
I
thought you meant.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, get better. Like, you know, I don't want Tyson. Tyson told me where he wanted to go.
Right.
And so, in order to get where you want to go, you have to be a 1%er.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not being. You have better chances of being a millionaire.
Correct.
Than playing college basketball or pro.
That's crazy, right?
1%. Right. So if you want to go there, you have to be 10 times better than the person in front of you. You just have to. When you step foot on the court, you have to. You can tell those kids that look like basketball players that are on that level. You can tell them just based on how they move on the floor. So, you know, being that 1%er is, you know, you got to be 10 times better than the person in front of you.
Absolutely.
Yep. So, Torres, we're gonna skip the next 2 topics, and because we're gonna push for time, we're gonna go to straight to the source.
What are the next 2 topics?
We had parents pushing their kids and Nick Saban.
We'll touch on that next week.
Yeah, we get it next week. Yep.
The source. Speak
The
loud.
skill and guile it takes to run a pool.
Hey, that looked like the bar at Wiregrass.
That's crazy.
Your host for this segment
Torres, can you pull up
spares no
that
expense to find
Google
the
Drive?
hidden messages. In his search to uncover the truth, he exhibits
That's
limitless
crazy.
effort to bring you the story no one else
Imagine
can
Dave
find.
like that too at night. Find these topics.
David LaMarre
Feel
presents
like Willis a little bit on that one.
Yeah.
What you talking about, Willis?
straight from
Hey, on
the
Instagram.
source.
Okay, let me research this.
Don't come in here, y'all, honey. I'm working.
All right. So,
man.
Torres, can you go to Western? Actually,
Got that box in the way.
yeah, click the Western Conference tab
Is this how we picked? Oh,
if you don't mind. But we're not gonna
I wanna
because they're
see
not
where we
done
at,
yet.
though.
But next week is the Hillsborough County Public School Championship, otherwise known as Western Conference. And there's been a lot of comments out there on what team got in there, what teams didn't get in there. So shout out to Super Dave. Need to get some tires. So each conference gets one team, regardless of your FHSA rankings. It goes off your record. So in the American division, Leto, I think Leto went 8-0 in their division. I'm going to pull it up right now. Leto went 8-0 in their division, so they got in. In the national division, Wharton went 7-1, so they got it from the national division. And then the federal division, Durant and Plant City were both 8-1, but Durant beat Plant City, so Durant got the bid from there. And then the wild card goes to the next highest ranked FHSA team, which was Blake. So those were the teams that matched up. So next week on Tuesday night, it will be at Leto. Leto will play Blake.
What time is that again?
That'll be the second game, so there'll be 8. And then the first game at 6:30 will be Durant versus Wharton, and then which will be a good game. And then
That's going to be 2 good games.
Yeah, 2 good games. And the winners from that will play on Friday, and then the 2 losers will play at 6:30 in the semifinal games.
2 teams that don't win. You're not losers, Dave.
Boy, stop. 2 losing teams.
The losers.
The losing team plays the semifinal.
And then everybody else does crossover games to get your final games. I didn't even know we had this in here. So let's see who picked. American. Let's see who Joe, you picked.
Man, everybody picked
So why
Blake.
TC's not on here?
TC's a private school.
It's all the
Oh,
public.
this is
Public.
public.
It's all
Got
public.
you.
So we all picked Blake. None of us won. Federal. Plant City, Newsom, Sumner.
We lost.
We're terrible.
We're trash.
National, Wharton. We all got that. And then wild card. Joe didn't get it. John didn't get it.
Ain't none of us
Chris,
did.
you got your wild card. You got him reversed.
Leto won it, though.
I know.
Blake's the
Ain't
wild.
no wild card.
I know.
Yeah,
He
Blake's
lost
the
too.
wild card.
Dre, you didn't get
He's a
yours.
loser, too.
Wow.
Leto.
Wait, did we?
He's a loser,
We
too.
went 1 for 4, all of us.
Yeah,
That's the best we
bad.
did. Well, we stink.
That was a little home court. We do probably did home court.
And then next week is the last week of regular season, and then we go.
Damn, already.
And then we go to the regional. Go to district tournaments.
So you skip step.
Sorry.
About the games next week, there was TBA until we figured out who was going to be the champion of the conferences. So then they match up teams with light records for
Like
the last
this.
2 games.
Like the
Yeah, that's next week. I saw that.
So Dre
I was wondering.
he wants you to say what Crest at now.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all still can play?
Huh?
Y'all still can play?
Yes,
Yeah,
man.
we're going to
They
play
play-
Brandon
they
and
play
East Bay.
Yeah.
And then if y'all win that, what happens?
Yeah, they
Then
play
we go to
again.
districts.
He's been well coached, man. Don't sleep on them.
Hey,
man.
then we go to districts.
Yeah. Yeah, get your
We're
mind
going
right.
to make it to districts.
Make some noise,
You gotta
dog.
make it the district.
Everybody get in.
Yeah.
Everybody in the club.
So what they do is they take 4 teams and they put them into pods and then they'll play. So we posted that on the. Joe and I actually both posted it on the group, so you guys will see it there. And then for regionals, there was a message about that. So how it works now, Torres, just go to 5A because that's an interesting one. Actually, no. Go to 3A because that's a confusing one that I want to explain. So go to the bottom, scroll just a little bit, Torres. So in 3A, go right, perfect. There we go. So in 3A, every region, and Dre, correct me when I'm wrong, every region there's 4 districts. So in 3A, Region 3, you got districts 9, 10, 11, 12. This is the 3rd year of it. Every district winner gets an automatic bid, and then it's the next 4 best teams. It previously was district winner and district runner-up. And so even though Calvary is 1, 2, 3, man, I got to do this, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Calvary's 10th right now in the district, and part of that's because they had a player that didn't play the first half of the season. They've jumped 50 spots in 2 weeks. Calvary will, if they win their district, which I'll go on a limb and say they're going to win District 10, but they're ranked 10th in their region, they're getting in no matter what. So First Baptist would actually, right now, the teams that would go would be Berkeley, Gateway, Tampa Catholic, Braden Christian, Cardinal Mooney, Tampa Prep, First Baptist. Even though Brooks and Bishop are ranked 113 and 118th, and Calvary's 168, they wouldn't go because District 10 gets an automatic bid.
But if they win their district, they go.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. But Brooks, even though they're 50. Brooks is 113 and Calvary's 168.
It would bump Brooks out.
It would bump Brooks out, and it would bump Bishop Verreau out.
Oh, that's just like the NFL when the Bucks got the.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, but so that's why, and it's 7A, Torres. 7A, it's the same thing, Dre, with in your district right now. I think
we have to win the district.
Yeah, you got to win the district. But right now you got Winter Haven. You want to talk about a team that plays tough all week. They've played 4 number 1s. But Winter Haven, Sarasota, Plant City, Durant, Plant, Eastlake, Lehigh, Northport, and Riverview, Sarasota are ranked higher than Sumner. But Sumner is the highest ranked team from District 11, so they would get in, or Newsome, or if Dre wins, or Lakewood Ranch.
Unless, because this happens, you have a upset of a district winner. So just like us. If we were to win our district, it's going to knock somebody out because we'll get an automatic.
But that's what I'm saying. So in your district, right, I'm going to go out of, I think District 11 is only going to get 1 team in. So whoever wins the district's getting in. Because Sumner's the highest one, Dre, right now, and they're number 10. So if you win the district, Dre, you're dancing, baby.
We're going to dance.
You're going to dance.
We're going to do the stroll.
So you got this week a regular season, and then this week, and then that helps your seeding for districts. And the other thing is this year, the girls' districts are going to be Monday. Let me look at this because people ask this. So girls' district games, because for the last 10 years, Chris, 12 years, girls always had their districts the week before. Yes. But this year the state made it even. So the week of the 5th, the girls will play Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then the boys will play Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
First time for that.
First time that's happened since I've lived here.
Yeah.
So that's all I got in regards to the rankings. There's a lot of interesting matchups. I try to post it every week in there to the best of my knowledge, and we go from there. I think that's all I got. I know we've gone a little bit long, so let's turn it over to Joe.
Wow, Sarasota pretty good, Chris.
All right, so we go on to the
Sarasota pretty good.
Shut up, man.
we go on to the average Joe's rankings.
Yeah, I
Dre,
saw
I didn't
that.
think Dre. You could go to regionals.
Yeah, we can go to regional.
And now it's time for the Average Joe's Rankings.
I thought you watched Dre.
No disrespect.
He said, no.
All right, so I just sent the visual, just the template. I didn't send the
Come on, watch. You get
the whole shebang. So if you could just pull up the.
Everywhere else I got to pay. You right about
I thought
that.
I dropped it in the folder, but it's on the Facebook if you can go to that.
Some parents see me standing in line at
But I can just speak to it. So
Media has to pay. Yeah, bro.
Blake had the kiss of death being the number 1, so they got knocked off by Leto. So our new number 1 is Berkeley Preparatory School.
They had a couple tough games.
They got a couple tough
We
ones
got it up
coming
there.
up. So
Oh, you're going from the top?
Yeah, I'm just gonna talk through it. I don't have all the stuff today. Since I already put it out, I put it out.
Not everybody sees it. Not everybody's on the old Facebook.
Yeah, well, they gonna get it like this today.
Facebook.
So you got Berkeley Preparatory at number 1. Got Tampa Preparatory, the 2 preparatories at 1 and 2.
They play next week.
Yep, they play next week.
Yeah.
When? What time? I mean, what game? What day?
I think we play Tuesday. We played. Tampa Prep plays Berkeley and TC. I don't know. We played one Tuesday, one Friday.
Yep.
You won't be at either game. I know that.
Two tough games, man.
You'll be watching Blake.
Oh yes.
2 really tough games. Plant City at 3. Lato at 4, which Lato would have been the number 2, but they end up losing to Sarasota, who Chris said isn't very good.
After they beat Blake?
Yeah, they lost the next day.
Really?
Yep.
A lot?
No, it was a close
6.
game.
Good game?
Yeah, like 8 points.
Sarasota's
See, when you
strength of
play
schedule.
those back-to-back tough games, like Blake played us before they played Lato. We played them pretty
I
tough.
feel you.
Then they had to go play
Strawberry
Lato.
Crest was winning at the half.
Yes.
We're winning at the half.
More victory.
Damn, I should have bet it just a half.
But yeah,
Bet the first half.
at the half.
I was probably like plus 450.
So Blake at 5, Slam at 6, Durant 7, Tampa Catholic 8, Jesuit 9, and Wharton 10. And we will cap it right there at the top.
hold up.
So let me
Is
go
Tampa
ahead,
Catholic 10 and 11?
Did I put
Oh,
it
that's
on
a
twice?
typo.
No, that's their record.
10 and
They're the
11?
best 10 and 11 team you'll see.
Yeah.
On the 500?
Strength of schedule
Schedule's
is
like
like
an
25.
Yeah.
Man, what's your ranking on?
Strength of schedule like 25. So whenever they lose, they don't drop like more than one spot based off of who they're playing. So that's why they're
But-
still hanging
And
around.
even though
Wait, Dr. Lewis, like Dr. Lewis say, SC was winning at quarter 3. Yeah, fact check. That's right, Doc.
Because soon as at the half, soon as the second quarter start,
Man, she said it was in the third quarter.
Third quarter you were?
Strawberry Crest
I'm
was
looking
winning.
at these
That's what she
records, though,
said.
man. It look like we got a shot to
they
crack
might- it might have been-
top 25 in the next couple weeks.
how many wins you got?
3, I think.
Yeah, they ain't gonna
Maybe
get
4.
I'm done.
Man, I
Yeah,
see
no.
somebody with 9.
9 is greater than 3.
and you do public math, so
we can crack the top 25 after the next 2 weeks.
Jefferson to get in there before y'all. They got 8 wins. Jefferson's just getting
Our strength of
on up.
schedule is good.
Is it?
Man, we lost to our top teams on there right now. We lost 2.
Oh my
You played Berkeley?
he said all top teams out there.
No, all public schools.
Plant City you played?
Yep.
You play Lato?
Nope.
Blake?
Yep.
Durant?
Yep. Last night.
Wharton?
Yep. Last week.
That's what I'm talking about, Dre. We got a shot, dog.
Plant
No,
too?
we ain't played Plant.
I thought
We
y'all-
played
Y'all got a game
Brooks
Friday? I'll
preseason.
be there Friday. I got a
Preseason on
We
count.
played something. We played Bloomingdale. We played King.
Who you beat on there?
And we played Hillsborough.
Who you beat on there?
For 3 quarters, Blake.
None.
Man one.
What's dripping off the end of my finger? Nothing.
Oh man.
Wait, so what
This
team?
boy is wild.
Who's
bro.
all right? So who's in the
You
top
wild,
10
bro.
that surprised? Anybody?
Shouldn't be anybody surprising in the top 10 at this point in the
No.
season.
Man, stop.
Now, if I was to rank these schools on how I really feel they are, it'd be completely
I
different.
was just about
Yeah.
to say that.
John,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna say John, you've been kind of
I
chatty.
mean, look, I like.
Johnny, you're gonna give out your top 5?
I definitely like TC. Like
TC's your number 1.
I didn't say that. I
Ooh.
did not say that.
All right.
I definitely like TC though. That kid Finch, he played hurt against what game I went to?
Jesuit.
No problem. He
You
get
know
his
who
ass
it
out
is.
there,
He
man.
willed.
You know who it is.
He willed them. Now, in my opinion, I think Jesuit lost that game. I don't think TC took that game. But it was one of the best games I've been to all year. That one and then the Berkeley versus TC. But that kid can go. But Chris Moliere, I'd say that day, Chris Moliere was Chris Moliere that day.
I can't believe, and they posted it, so I can't. You know, TC's won that rivalry 17 straight games.
Yes, last time Jesuit beat them.
There was no knocks.
Yes, there was.
Oh, there was a
Yes,
knock.
there was.
Oh,
There was a knock.
Kevin was there.
And
Kevin.
Kevin was there. Terry got his first dunk.
oh, was that with?
I was at that game.
2016 or 17.
Was that the game Leonard Hamilton was that from FSU?
Yep, sitting in the corner.
Yeah.
That was when they had it
So
bad
that was
That
the
had
what?
to be 2017.
Might have been Terry
16,
Jr. year.
17 season. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've won 7. That's crazy. Those games are close every game.
Yeah, that was the last time.
They play next week.
Friday.
They play next Friday night.
Oh, that's what I mean. Yeah. That game, I like them rivalry games, bro.
Oh yeah, for sure. I hate they only do the Berkeley prep, Tampa prep.
Yeah. No, he said that. Oh, yeah, they count. Yeah.
JoJo's 8th grade year was electric. That's when Berkeley had C.J. Hawkins, JoJo.
So, Tyson in 4 years never won a Headmasters. They never beat Berkeley.
Berkeley had some sticks back then.
Not it, yeah. But
Wait. So Plant Jesuit must be this Friday then. They can't. Wait, next week is it has to be then. So Plant Jesuit's this Friday night. That game's always pretty good.
Yeah, Jesuit Halsey, Greg.
So Jesuit's last 4 Friday night games have been Sarasota,
Lost.
TC.
Lost.
They play Plant and then TC. But for Friday night games, those are pretty good.
No, I'm joking.
Y'all ready for these top 21?
Oh boy, here we go.
We got John Arroyo would say, 21.
Don't worry about Torrey. I know 10 of them Blake strawberry crap.
He said more than 10.
Torres, why didn't you tell me it was in there?
Oh, man.
So, while that's loading, we might as well go ahead and look at that last.
Manji is worse than is a bucket.
What's going on this Friday?
Plant Jesuit. That game's always fun.
I'll be there. I'm not going to Orlando till Saturday morning.
Oh, my God. Boy, you wild over there.
Man, what? You just going to have my boys out here on Front Street.
Would it play straight from my phone, Torres?
I thought you didn't have media coverage.
No, you can send me the link.
They snuck in?
I didn't just upload
it.
Man, you should have had somebody sit by Joe.
Man, he was sneaking.
Have him snap the phone out of his hand.
Like he was at a concert.
That wasn't allowed, Joe. You didn't see the memo?
I did.
At the door, I saw it.
There's a bucket with that too, Isaiah. So you know how to let the peoples in.
That was the game that.
So if you plug it into the back of my phone, will it play like that?
Do we have any highlights on
I don't have an adapter. Is it an iPhone or what is it?
Nah, it's an Android.
Hey, do we have any highlights?
Oh, we got to get the plays.
Yeah, you got to
I'm talking about the play.
It's downloading?
You avoiding the question. Do we have any highlights against Blake on there? That we on the positive end?
You might, bro. I mean, if we can get this thing to come on through.
It's uploading and it'll just be a few minutes.
You know who played good at the TC game? I think Carter had his best game. And then I like KJ.
Let's go to that,
KJ played really good from
Let's
TC.
go to that video we skipped.
Big boy KJ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Look at Dre.
I'm just looking at his notes over here.
Oh, Lord. Hold on. Get out my notes, man. Get out my notes. Get out my notes. Let me see what you saw. Let me see if you saw.
So next Tuesday, I'm going to see Jefferson, 6:30.
It's a whole bunch of.
And I'm gonna see Hillsborough.
Here we go. Here go our next chatty patty while we waiting for the plays to load.
Kids, man.
Y'all ready?
Who were
You shared this one, Dre?
Yep,
you
I've
did.
been looking at so much stuff.
All right, guys, this is becoming more and more irritating the more that we talk about it. There is an issue that people have with parents who are pushing their kids in athletics. It has become this virtue signaling where you're saying that, those types of parents are bad parents because the odds of people making it in the NBA is X, Y, and Z. And you heard me talk about the numbers, like the real numbers, right? 1 in 3,000, which is still better than becoming an astronaut. And no one would discourage anyone from becoming an astronaut. And at 1 in 3,000, it's based on everybody who's playing, not those who even have the potential, the pedigree, the work ethic, and all of the other things to make it. But that's besides the point. The reason y'all have a big issue with people pushing their kids in athletics is because you don't look at athletics the way that it should be looked at. It is a business. It is not a sport. It used to be a sport back when no one was watching it, but now that people are watching it, people are paying to come see it. Huge television contracts are being signed and deals being made with major organizations. This is a business. But it's a micro business within the macro business. It's a business of networking. It's a business of exposure. It's a business of so many other things that will help you later on in life. The network you create through basketball is infinite. All walks of life. You're able to do so much And people remember you because of the way you used to play, the things you used to do, the teams you were on, the effort. I remember you. You used to really go at it, man. You used to go hard. Those things help, even if it's at a micro level. So guys, stop condemning and virtue signaling and stop being judgmental about it. If you were a Hilton, you would be in the hotel industry. No one would convince you as a Hilton to, no, stop forcing them to understand the hotel industry. Or if you were a Walton, no, don't let them understand the retail business. It's just you're trying to make them be you. Just corny. Stop. It's okay. And guess what? The back end of this. What if they don't make it? They're going to be 21. You got all the time to work. Man, let these folks do what they do with their kids, and y'all leave it alone. Cool.
Keep it moving.
So what y'all think?
Yep, I agree. But we have a living witness right here in Tampa. Knox. Knox pushed this kid. Now he got 2 McDonald's All-Americans and maybe a female with his daughter.
And not to go unmentioned, he got another one playing Division I basketball, which is a huge accomplishment.
High major.
Well.
Correct.
Yep.
Right, and he had to go a different route than the others, but he's there. But that's
The conference.
the proof is in the pudding that it can be done.
Yep.
So
You look like you like Jello pudding pops.
I had to eat some Jello pudding pop.
So Chris, what do you think about what he said?
I agree. I mean, I still say 1%, and you have how good you have to be. So you really have to be good. There's nothing wrong with someone focusing and pushing their kids through athletics, pushing them to be better and greater. And if that's what they use, I mean, it's no different than a person saying, "I want to go to law school," or "I want to be a neurosurgeon." So whatever you do is still going to be a competitive atmosphere, competitive environment. So you just have to push kids to be better. So that's just your choice to get where you want to go, and that's what fuels people, and that's what fuels the kids. That's what they enjoy doing, so be it, especially if that's going to help them progress through life, and that's going to make their process easier, and that's their space where they enjoy being uncomfortable and growing. So, yeah, I agree with him.
Let me add this. There's a lot of life lessons taught through sports, especially through basketball. So even if you don't make it and you have developed that work ethic, and made those network and those conditions, that helps you in life when you're going forward in life. But like we was talking about earlier, you have those parents that jump teams, or get upset and when their kids are not playing or what have you, this and that and other. And I use this term in school all the time. Undisciplined kids become unemployable adults.
Yep.
So you even though if you don't make it and you're on the right path, you still get those life lessons that will help you later on in life and other things.
Yeah, so I have a quick story. We just hired a gentleman.
That shit is not gonna be quick.
No, seriously, we just hired a gentleman named Scott Morrison for the Skills Center. He's our chief development officer. So he worked for the NBA,
right.
And so he told me a story about him and Vince Carter. The same year Vince Carter was drafted, he worked with NBA and working with the players and getting everything ready and marketing and everything. He and Vince Carter were in the elevator. Scott Morrison, 5'6", 5'7", maybe 5'8".
Yeah.
He said, he looked at Vince Carter, gave him dap. He said, "Bro, both of us living our dream. You made it to the NBA. I made it to the NBA," which he did.
Right.
Vince Carter made it as a player.
Right.
He made it as an employee of the NBA. Both of them were employed by the NBA.
Right.
So both of them made it. How he made it, he said, "I knew I wasn't going to make it as a 5'6", 5'7" point guard from New Jersey, but he made it another way. So regardless, he made it to the NBA.
Absolutely.
So.
Just like Broxy, he's coaching.
Right.
Exactly.
Worked his way up. He's coaching in the NBA.
Yeah.
And so just through basketball, like I say it all the time in the work industry, 90% of what I do at T-Mobile is I can tie in a basketball story with it because it's all, just like playing the man-to-man in zone, those skills are transferable. The skills you learn on the basketball court, being a good teammate, work ethics, all that stuff like that is transferable to the workplace. But also the networking part, what he said, also is how I got to T-Mobile was from basketball.
Right.
I was applying for jobs all the time and couldn't get anything. This is back in the day before the internet where you had to go actually get an application. Y'all got applications, fill it out, turn it in, wait for a call, all that stuff. You know, so yeah, so I was doing all of that, but then fast forward, I went to Arroyo Communications, which turned VoiceStream, which turned T-Mobile. You know, so I went there and applied, and my interview skills were freaking awful. I was interviewing when they was like, man, if they don't get this fool up out of here talking, but when I went into T-Mobile, I got through. I think I told y'all the story before. I got through all the typing part and all that stuff like that. And then when the person came down to interview, I'm like, oh, here we go. It's interview. Every time I interview, these people kick me out of there. They throwing me out like Jazzy Jeff on the Fresh Prince. So the lady comes down to interview me, and she walks in, and she said, you used to play for Jefferson, didn't you? And I said, yes, ma'am. She's like, don't be calling me no ma'am. And she said, yeah, I'm Katrina Jacobs. My used to play against my little brother at Gaither, Kevin Jacobs. And we did the interview, and the interview was very short, and I got hired based off of that. She took a chance on me. 6 months later, I was promoted to her team lead. 7 months later, I got my first promotion. Because when I got in there, it was a lot like being just removed from being an athlete. It was a lot like sports. You had teams, you had stats, you had leaderboards, you had performance. All that stuff is what drove me. You know what I mean? So I was very competitive. So I got in there and excelled. But again, it was all tied through, things I know at basketball. You know, I bought my boy Andre. He ain't last too long. He left and followed his passion and went and teaching and coaching and stuff, and he's still there today. But
She work for you now?
No, she left the company years ago. Ain't no telling what she would be doing if she was still there. But there's a lot of people that were my bosses that work for me. Now. So or a lot of people that were higher than me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. But it's. To me, we still all. And again, it comes from basketball. I don't treat my team like I'm the boss. Right. You know what I mean? We still a team. I'm just a team captain. Just like in basketball, we're a team. I'm just a team captain. I'm gonna go talk to the ref. I'm gonna do, and that's all. That's how I run my team.
I don't know, 'cause when you were off on the podcast,
Taurus was mixed construing my messages, man. I wasn't saying move along. I was saying this is the next topic. And then Taurus was like, oh, we got to move on to the next topic. I'm like, no, I ain't say that.
Hey, I felt like I was like.
You remember? I'm like, shit, damn.
Smile.
Yeah, no. Yes, sir, Joe.
That's why text is email is the worst form of communication, man.
Slave driver.
All right, let's go to the top, please.
Uno.
You got him, man. All right. That's my highlight.
We still got more time to wait?
Nope.
They ready?
1 second. Yeah.
I like the phrase, nobody works for me, they work with me.
That's it, man.
And that's why you always be nice to people.
Already.
Because the
You never
person
know.
that you're over can one day be over you.
Absolutely.
Right. Before we start this, Taurus, you're going to have to remove that final word stuff because it's going to be blocking some of the highlights.
Hey, no, you don't. Put over half of the screen.
Now, usually I do 10 plays or 5 plays, but today we got 21.
You've never done 10 or 5
We got
plays.
21.
Hey,
I actually tried to narrow this down.
11 from one game.
I tried to narrow it down.
How much you got? How much
5.
you want to bet?
6.5 the over under.
So all of them gonna be in the second half.
So the question is, how many from the Strawberry Crest Blake game? Is that what you said?
About 6.
I'll go
6? What you got? 6?
I'll go 8.
8?
3.
Yeah, 5.
Wait, now, although from my perspective, do we positive or negative?
I don't know. We're going to see.
Okay.
Did y'all do it? Y'all do some positive stuff?
Yeah. Shoot, we were winning. Yeah.
All right, let's
No,
see.
in the third quarter.
Third quarter.
All right, so we're going to start at 21. At 21, you have Tamar Godbolt. He put the ball behind the defender's back and passed it to Joshua Lewis for a midi. Now, I don't know if this was a mistake. Got to move that box, Taurus. I don't know if this was a mistake Or
Damn,
if he,
yeah, it was a mistake. It was
or if he
a
really tried to
turnover
do
almost.
that, but it's kind of slick. Look, the dude turned like, where the ball? He turned
Man.
around. So it's kind of
What the hell? This is Shaq in the
Then he
full.
falls.
Yeah, this is Shaq in the
So
full
at
now.
20, we got LaCantos. Braylon Moore says, shall I have this dance? And steps back and nails the three over the North Marion defender.
Might have traveled, yo.
Did he travel? 1-2. Look good to me.
Nice,
Out the
nice.
pivot.
He
Look
created
good to me.
space.
At 19, you got Joshua Lewis. Is it against Strawberry Crest? Only time will tell. Casually catching the tip dunk. He does it so much. It's something
The
like he
D3
does it so
of-
much. It's kind of, it's just such a norm now.
Easy, right?
No, they just don't box out.
Is that your crest?
At 18, Jefferson Highs, Deron Hanna with a no-look dime to Big Coop for the two. Look at the no-look.
Good pass.
That's a nice pass.
Yep. Blake got to get back.
Yeah, good
At
hustle.
17, Mr. Versatility, KJ Martin sneaks a little chicken wing in there.
What's that, man?
With a little step back, nails a three. Little chicken
And he
wing.
extended it.
Little chicken wing. Watch out, boy. Mr. Versatility. At 16, first play of the game.
Baby.
First play of the game. It's Jefferson. Joshua Lewis comes through like big game James with the feed off of KJ Martin.
That was
first play of the
James
game?
Worthy.
First play of the game. 1-2, all in motion.
Tap the head.
At 15, Tampa Preps, Jay London Bibbin drops a
Nice.
dime to T-Bear Christian Fuller for 2. Dime!
Man, what's up with all these?
At
what's
14,
happening
our
afros?
first Strawberry Crest highlight. We got Jason Lewis with the back
There
door.
we go, baby.
Okay.
Dime.
There we
Camera
go,
roll.
baby.
I called him.
Look at Jason. Jason look
Boy,
glowing,
look like
boy.
your daddy right there, boy.
Yeah.
Hey,
Jason look
Blake
glowing.
wins.
And I like,
Stunned like his
I like his
daddy.
haircut too,
Blake
like
wins.
high and tight.
That's one.
At 13, the Giant Slayer, John Adams, put that little can't get right spin on there and delivers a dime of his own.
That was
Put that
King.
little can't get right on there.
King.
I know it's gonna be the last one.
That might have been the travel right there now. You took about 4 right there, Giant Slayer. All right, at 12, Malik Brady Ayers throws a casual alley-oop to who?
That's 2. No.
Joshua Lewis, something like, you got more Jefferson highlights than
Yeah,
Chris.
sure do. Yeah, okay. And we were winning.
There's a casual alley-oop, Joshua Lewis, Blake wins.
They were in 2 different guys. Yes, he is.
At 11, JoJo Philon comes down the wing and throws one down in traffic. Who's that, I guess?
Who are you yelling
Brandon.
at?
That's Brandon.
He
Who are you yelling at? Right?
He yelling
Is
at
Brandon
himself.
still wearing 1980?
Should have been an and one. Blake wins.
Who are you yelling at?
At 10, Joshua Lewis catches the defender slipping on the inbound play.
That's 2. No. Oh!
Hey, get what I said. I told you.
I told you.
Didn't I
boy.
tell you?
They
Don't
worried
be-
about
no.
JoJo, so you told him
They
about the wrong
worried too. They got 2
one.
people guarding
They
JoJo.
worried about the
Number
wrong
4
one.
backing up like,
At
that ain't got nothing to do
Larry
with me.
Sark.
On defensive
two.
position.
At 9, Lyric Sarton
Is
throws
that
an
Braylon?
alley-oop to Caleb Sanders, but Jay London says, not on my
Oh, I
watch.
see you.
Goes
Ooh, and they called a
upstairs.
foul on him.
Goes upstairs to the no coward zone with the grab. Jay London Bivens, not on my watch, baby.
Dude, he's
Ain't none of them skills in the boys, no cowards.
Man.
There ain't no cowards now. They
like
gonna
him
go.
when
to go get
man.
At 8,
you should have donkey did like
JoJo Philon with a steal and throws it down on the other end.
Okay, JoJo.
Blake wins.
Okay. I see you. I see you, JoJo. Tell him something, Joe. JoJo the Tire Man.
Wow.
Ooh.
At 7, Joshua
Look at
Lewis
Toucan
with
Sam
some
right
young
there.
Thundercat athleticism.
That's that 3.
This is some young Thundercatness. I don't know if this is a dunk or a layup.
No,
what is this
that's a hard
classified?
layup.
Hard
What's
layup.
this classified
Hard
as?
layup. Hard layup. Ooh.
If he'd extended his arm, he might have made it.
Might have,
At
yeah.
6, Winthrop's Jason Johnson goes to the no coward zone
Watch out now.
and denies Zeke the Jumanji Films highlight. But Zeke said, I will be back.
I'll be back. Give me that, boy. Stop
that
playing.
right.
About ain't no
What you
cowards
say about
over
my
here.
mama?
At 5, you know who would not be denied. Same game, Tony Bryant as he finishes on the loop from Zeke.
Wow.
Who won that game?
That was a
North
good
Tampa
game.
by 6, maybe.
Yeah, it was a real good game, man.
He grabs it. Wow.
Should have been a beep. At 4,
Is that their home gym, Winthrop?
Yep, O'Neal Delancey doing some O'Neal Delancey type stuff as he dribbled through the defender's legs and hits the jumper.
And
Let's just play that again with those.
That kid tough. Like
That's that monkey break.
And he shot it and looked like he turned around. Like,
Yo, he do that now.
Yeah.
He's very fun to watch.
They beat Gateway Charge.
At 3, JoJo Philon clears the runway.
Oh, that boy.
Clears the runway.
Did you
throws it down?
That's 4. Hey, did you see that brother in the suit? Look at the brother in the suit back there. Oh, that boy clean.
That's a blazer.
That boy clean,
That's
baby.
why some teams shouldn't play man, but hey.
The little hostage dribble right there.
Take his own, baby.
Cam was about to take a charge right there.
Did you, where? At the 3-point line?
You told him to take charges. At 2,
That's
Joshua
4.
Lewis misses the midi.
Where the cleanup, man? Where the cleanup, man?
He's going to clean it up himself.
Oh, wow, it was him.
Got his own.
I thought it was somebody else.
No, got his own. Very hard to do.
Yeah,
For those of you who never dunked a basketball, this is very difficult.
Well, let's see who's supposed to box him out. Nobody.
This is young Thundercat.
You gotta.
And at number 1,
That's impressive.
the Delgados put the nail in the coffin as Derek Delgado goes upstairs to Daniel Delgado with the big win over Blake. Puts the nail in the coffin right there. Blake loses.
May they rest in peace. That night.
Number 1 play.
All right, so who won?
He just said
4. No, 4. It was 4.
I said 6.
I had 8.
I had 3. You had 5.
I have.
Y'all went over.
Price is right.
Dave won.
Price is right.
Dave won.
What you mean? I thought I
told
won.
you that
I went over.
went
You went over.
That's the number 1 play right there. Run it back on Tuesday.
Run it back
Should be
Tuesday.
interesting. Hopefully,
Y'all send me
Joshua.
texts.
Hopefully, he's back from coronavirus. I think he's playing. He's not playing tomorrow, but I think he's playing. Trying to play Friday. So, hopefully, he can. I wish he can get 2 in, get his wind up.
So that was the flu game he played.
Trey, did you have to call the plumber? All that drip?
What drip?
Hey.
Look at
I hear you, Torres. Oh, we got to show that 6 times.
There it is. Those are your top plays from few weeks.
Few weeks.
Yeah, it's like 3 weeks of data. All right. What's the final word?
Man, I need to get out and see some more basketball.
Did you see the one I sent you?
TV be good with.
You sent it to me?
Yeah, the video.
That's what I probably was missing. You sent it just to me only or the group?
I think just to you.
I think I've been
I
to
got it
4
here. I
games
haven't
this
read
year.
it.
Play it. Let's play it. Let's hear
I think so. That's it.
What?
I've been to 4 games.
And again, we want to thank our Torres going.
I've been to 22.
We want to thank our sponsor, Tampa Bay Basketball Officials. They're sponsors for the month of January, a little bit into February, so we appreciate those guys supporting our what we're doing over here and supporting the show. So if you need any refs, contact Tampa Bay Basketball Officials.
His ref did a good job at that tournament.
Dave Queen, we need to have you on the show. I'm gonna call you, man. We're gonna have to call you.
Yeah, he said you bring on 3 calls and he'll talk questionable calls. He'll talk about it with.
Oh yeah, he need to come on there. I got look.
He got a whole book on.
You got a whole phone.
I got a whole damn folder. John, I want you to tell me.
How about this? Joe goes into the officials' locker room this weekend. They were like, they welcomed him with warm arms. They were chatting, eating Hungry Howie's together.
I thought I needed my gun. I'm go get my damn gun.
Man, but we had a call so bad in my face. I'm like, dude, I'm right here. I'm right here. You gonna make that call?
So John, this folder that says foul or no.
Oh my God.
How many clips are in this folder?
Oh God.
Well, I don't know how you have time.
I'm right here. I'm looking dead at you. The ball did not go out of bounds.
Oh, is that the one, Jason?
Yeah.
That wasn't even close.
Read that number to me. Foul or no.
309.
309.
Bad calls?
Yes, I could do a foul or no
The whole show.
every day for a whole year.
You do an episode.
I can do every day for a whole year, and I don't do public math.
You make the
So I
call.
got 309 and 365 days in a year, but I'm still going to games.
We ain't going on weekend.
This year's leap year.
And it's just from January 1st.
No way. This is it.
Damn.
All right, Torres, hit us. What you got? I haven't seen this. This don't look familiar to me. Oh, I don't hear nothing, Torres. You
As an
slipping.
elite 8-year-old, a high-performance 10-year-old, or a professional 11-year-old. It doesn't happen. It just doesn't. It's not in my vocabulary. Please get it out of yours. My job from 1992 to the 2000 Olympics was to go around Australia and try and find and identify
Australia.
talented
I can
athletes,
tell.
pull them into a high-performance program and help to get the best out of them for the 2000 Olympics. And in spite of that, and trained as a physiologist, I can't tell you what your 8-year-old's going to do. I have no idea. I can't even tell you what sport they're going to end up in. This year's basketball player is next year's footballer, is next year's butterfly swimmer, is next year's... So we don't know. We don't know. But I promise you, specialising them too early is a road to doom. It's a road to doom, particularly with young kids. Not only that, don't worship physical talent. Physical talent is a poor indicator of long-term success. Don't be overwhelmed by the 11-year-old that's up against your 11-year-old. Don't be overwhelmed by that. And not only that, if that's your 11-year-old, don't get too excited about it. Take time to build character and values and virtues and integrity and respect and discipline. There is no such thing as an elite 8-year-old, a high-performance 10-year-old, or a professional 11-year-old. It doesn't happen.
No. So, Torres, where were you going with that?
Well, that's why I wanted to get your opinion on that. You know, like, as far as from his point of reference, not only, how realistic is it to spot talent that early, but also the importance of focusing on one sport versus multiple sports.
Yeah.
And building the character.
Right.
So, I'll what's the gentleman name? I had a conversation you met with tonight.
Anthony.
So we had a conversation when you left, and he said that he just didn't want his son playing multiple sports, like he wanted to focus on one. And I said to him, I said, man, it's just beneficial to kids to give them an opportunity to play multiple sports, and they'll figure out what they want to do. Or not only that, but it gives the body a chance to rest. Because there's different movements in each sport that you play.
And the sport will choose you sooner or later.
Yeah. And so, instead of, how do you know a kid that is, just say a Javon Curse. Just say if Javon Curse never played a down of football, he was a pretty good basketball player. And that's all he would have done is play basketball. Then Javon Curse wouldn't be, or Julius Peppers wouldn't be who he was. Or even a gentleman like Tony Gwynn, if you want to go back in the day.
Man, I didn't know he was that guy in basketball.
Tony Gwynn was that guy. He got drafted in the NBA and got drafted in the major leagues the same year.
He still holds the record at San Diego State.
So.
You know who Tony Gwynn is? I knew it.
Baseball player, Hall of Famer.
Baseman, right? First baseman, third baseman?
San Diego Padres.
Yep.
So, you just never know what type of player, what type of person you're going to be, or what space that kid is going to be in. So, I played soccer until I was 15.
I ain't played no soccer.
You a big ass soccer player, boy.
I played keeper until I was 15 years old.
You were goalie?
Yeah, I played keeper.
Yeah, so we had this conversation before with young, putting these young middle schoolers on a high pedestal because of the development. Some kids mature more than others at a certain age. Yep. But once they get to high school, some of those kids that were that guy in middle school actually fall off the map.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I always say, ain't no college coach gonna ask you what you did in the 7th and 8th grade.
Right.
When they're recruiting you, they want to watch your progress through the high school rankings.
Yep, I agree.
And that's stuff, and that's why I disagree with all the rankings and things like that. That's a setup. That is a setup.
Now they're putting stars. I told you they're putting stars.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, it's not gonna matter what a kid. Like I said, and we used to always rank the teams that we played. When we were paying the kids in 4th, 5th, 6th grade, totally different 7th grade.
Right.
Those teams changed once we got 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade. The playing field was kind of level, and your skill set is what got you to the next level, not your athletic ability, because everybody's just as fast. I mean, just imagine going to college and stepping onto a college campus. Everybody dunking. Everybody dunking. You go D1, you go JUCO, you go D2. Everybody averaged 20, 25 in high school. Nobody give a damn what you did.
Patrick Beverly,
You know,
averaged
so
37 in high
Do y'all remember the best player when y'all was in 7th grade?
Yep.
I do too.
I remember just playing in the 3rd grade. Pappy.
I remember.
He used to tear my ass out. I wonder what Pappy had now.
Tom McTeague.
O.J. Oscar Bryant for me and Gerald Mack. And they used to be able to go to McFarland, get out there with the grown men. They was able to play with the grown men and compete. I hadn't even picked up a ball yet. By the time we got to high school, by junior year, I was the best player on the team. Led the team in scoring, rebounds, blocks.
You talking about 7th grade? When you was in the 7th grade?
We was all in 7th
That was
grade.
D'Antonio Wakefield and Melvin Drake.
And they was
And
big
they
guys.
both on 6'6", about 6'7".
Yeah, and they stayed at the top of the food chain.
They stayed at the top of the food.
Yeah, so they were anomalies. But it's but it changes. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, so I mean, because where were you 7th grade?
And Andre Lewis.
You was one of the top guys?
Yes, sir.
In 7th grade?
Martin Luther King Raiders.
Nah, I damn sure wasn't.
I
was not even
I had
close.
picked up a ball.
Because we played ball all the time. So
I was actually a better soccer and baseball player than I was a basketball player. Probably going into my junior and senior year.
You had the high top fade back then too.
I did.
He looked like the.
actually, if I knew
you
what
ever
I
seen
knew
the movie
now,
The Air Up There?
I'd have stayed. I was a great baseball player. I was a pitcher.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see
but
that.
I lost interest once I got to high school.
I bet he's got
and
nasty
just stayed
curveball.
your
brother was.
The White Goodman was my idol.
I was on the baseball team my freshman year.
Just in
in college.
baseball?
They ain't had nothing but a fastball and a curveball.
Yeah,
You
my,
had a curveball, right? Yeah, long arm.
my freshman year in college, I was on the baseball team. I pitched.
TCU or
Central Florida Community College.
Yeah.
Now my children's, they tried baseball until that ball hit him on their shin. Ain't want to play no more.
Jordan Jason dropped off.
Junior had a line drive at 3rd base. Pop.
Oh,
And it was
man.
the 8th inning. Coach said, I said, now you got to finish the game, boy.
So,
We
but
go to
we
the doctor afterwards.
You know, so my younger brother, Kerry, he's scholarshiped in 3 sports.
That's crazy.
Basketball, baseball, and football. He was a 4th round draft pick of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
That's dope.
My older brother played college baseball. And so, give these kids a chance to play, but you can't tell a kid at 10, 11, you can't tell a kid at 14 you're a pro.
Nah.
You just don't know what's
But
going to
they
happen.
do, baby.
You just
I
don't know
seen a
what's
video
gonna
the other day, and I was like, man, this kid look awesome. Then I seen him on the court. I was like, man, this video was.
Sometimes it's safe to say that kid's a pro when they that young.
At what age?
Shit, 6th grade.
14.
Yeah.
Eric Dampier's son, he's a pro.
I don't know, Joe.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
he's really good for sure. He's good now. He's really good. But I see some college D1 6'9s. He's not going pro. Meaning, they already in D1 doing their thing. I think it's different when you get up there.
Okay.
It's tough.
Archive this part of the segment.
I'm not saying he's not. So let's archive that
tough
one.
You just don't know how he's going to develop.
He'd be a pro.
What grade is
A pro like what?
So
though?
he should be 7th
NBA?
grade now, right?
Yeah.
He'll be NBA?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he's not 7th grade. He's junior, 8th grade.
Yeah, great.
He probably reclass.
No, he's real. He's been.
Yeah, no, he legit.
He's
Whatever
been.
grade he's in, he's legit.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
been.
Yeah, but it's just.
He a big kid, 6'6".
I would have said in I would have said in 4th grade I would have said that Cameron Boozer was going to be a pro. I would have said that in 4th grade.
So let's go real fast. So you say Dampier, because Dampier is really good, very skilled, 6'6", 6'7", maybe
6'8", 6'9".
Okay, but my man from Clearwater gave him the business, and he's only 6'3".
Right, because he's again because
Najon? Is that
Yep.
it? Najon.
again because they're young. So like genetically, look at.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be different. Yeah. I see what
you
you're saying.
what I'm
Yep,
saying?
I got you.
So
yeah, because he's gonna be a 7-footer.
there's a whole bunch of guys gave me the business when I first started playing at Pierce. By the time we got to high school, they was trying to carry my books to class for me. You know what I mean? So shit changes.
I
Like, you
wasn't
can't-
that good.
I can see that because that period gonna be 7 foot.
So,
by
but they
probably
will
2
get
more
out.
years.
They will.
Yeah,
just
but
like
they
you
don't.
said, the Boozer boys, whether they make it or not, they still gonna get the opportunity
They don't be pros.
because of
Both?
because of the network.
What you talking about pro? You talking about NBA pro? Or you talking about
That's
pro?
what I'm asking you.
Cameron, I always would have said Cameron was.
Yeah, he's
was
the better
a lock.
one, right?
Yes, he was always a lock. He was always the better one. The older boy was he was a baseball player. They used to play. They always played up because so all three of them could play together.
Right.
And he was the baseball. So he stopped playing baseball. But genetically, I mean,
twins are Cameron and Caden.
Yes.
And and Cameron's higher ranked, but Caden's having a better year, isn't he this year? I just
I know that. No, I thought Cameron was the guy.
that team
they
has
always
two.
talk about.
That team has two sets of twins. I didn't know that. Jason Richardson kids play there now too.
Really?
Jace Richardson, that kid's pretty good.
Cameron's a pro, man. I would have said that back when he was when they were young. Now the other twin, Caden, he's improved and he's more of a point guard. He's good too. They'll both go to Duke.
Did y'all know that? Remember the Davis brothers from Indiana Pacers?
Yeah.
Davis
you know his
boys,
son,
they weren't brothers.
Davis boys. You know his son plays in the league?
He with the Warriors.
Never knew
Davis
that.
kid,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. All right.
Antonio Davis.
Sometimes, I mean, you know, them genetics kick in because, I mean, you look at, you know, obviously Carlos Boozer. Because I always thought they were older. Yeah, I was like, there's no way in
But
hell
they're
these
not, right?
boys, they way younger than JoJo.
Wow.
I was like, there's no way in hell. They actually could be class of 2027 and be, you know what I'm saying? Be
But the
legit.
mama got some height on her too.
That's what I was about to say. So you got, you know, and remember when Carlos Boozer got to Duke, he was a freshman, had hair coming all out his jersey and his chest and shit. I mean, a full beard, like
Yeah.
and so you can genetically his kids are gonna look older and mature like he did. You know what I mean? But now also too, Carmen, his wife, she like 6'2".
Right.
You know,
Well,
at 6'2",
just
athletic.
because they're, you know, that tall don't mean they're going to be a...
The
I'm
tall,
just
the
saying.
skill set, what they're getting. I mean, they've been homeschooled since they've been the whole time, third grade, they've been homeschooled, trained all day, the nutrition, the resources that they're getting. Like,
But I
they've
don't like
always
when
been-
people say, yo, his daddy was in the league, he going to have an opportunity because
So-
Jason
so-
Williams' kid?
Yeah.
No.
It don't pan out like that for it don't pan like that for everybody.
but to say
it's
that
the
a kid's
opposite.
going to be
We're not
a
saying
pro.
they're going to be pros,
So-
but they will have the opportunity.
I think they'll be pros.
So-
I mean,
so
just genetically, it's just
But just say, for example, you have, like you'll say Eric Daly Jr., been around Lil E since he was born. Did you know he was going to be a pro or he was going to be that good?
I did. I thought he was.
Yeah, you just never know.
What about Michael Jordan?
And
kids?
and
Did you
Coach
think they
Shell
were
is
going to be pro?
6'3".
Right.
You know,
Michael Jordan's
he's 6'6",
kids,
Coach Shell 6'3".
Not. I didn't see them until they got to college, and no,
Well,
I saw them when they was in college.
Yeah,
I mean, but there's other pro guys that I see their kids, and I wouldn't be comfortable to say they're gonna be a pro. You know what I mean? Like
there are a lot of kids out there. I wouldn't be comfortable saying a 4th or 5th grader or a 6th grade kid gonna be a pro. That's tough because you just don't know what's
And
going to
there's a lot of
happen.
talent out there.
You don't know. I mean, that for all we know, they could quit playing ball.
Yeah,
But I'm just saying, like when I seen them, and when I saw what they were getting, and all that stuff, and the
You see kids
resources
that you see kids have potential to be special.
yeah,
They have the potential to be
It's
special.
like certain tennis players when they're young, they little kids, and you see what they're getting from a regiment standpoint of training. It's just exclusive. Like my old director, you know, Tibby, her daughter was she was at Tampa Prep. She was on the swim team at Tampa Prep. USA Swim wanted her to be homeschooled where she can just train all day, and because she was pretty good at Tampa Prep. She was on the varsity swim team as a 7th grader at Prep. And she was like, I mean, what is that? I'm like, no, that's a real thing. Like, she'll be getting the resources. She'll be training all day. Like, they were trying to groom her for the Olympics. I don't think the mom did it. And she's at now, like Baylor or somewhere, you know, something like, I forgot what school she's at. But those kids that are like that, I mean, you see them walking around IMG all the time. Some of those tennis players that are being groomed to be pros. And to me, it was the same thing what I saw with the Boozer boys. They were being groomed to be pros at a very young age. And I'm like, man, the reresources. I told Georgia, I was like, man, you ain't even going to be able to catch up with them boys till you probably about in 11th grade or something.
So before Sloan Stevens came to campus, Mr. Bolletary
at IMG.
Yeah, he told me, he said, hey, big fella, I got these 4 sisters coming here, and they can hit the hell out of a tennis ball. And Sloane Stephens was the one that really, like, elevated out of those 4. She used to hang with my girls because we would have the only black girls on campus as far as total black.
Were you there when Venus and Serena was
Yes.
there?
Yep. So
Not
I
at
knew.
a young age.
Yes.
When they were young?
No, not when
No,
they were
that's what
young.
I'm
When they were
saying.
younger
It was
pros.
when they was grown.
They were
Yeah.
younger pros.
Yeah.
So I
You
was
were
there
there
in
with,
2000. I was there with Sharapova when she was younger. I was there with Venus and Serena. So how I knew when we would do the pro workouts, how I knew when Serena was on campus, because we would do workouts and half the pros would be missing because they were there watching her workout. So we knew when she was on campus. But I was there with a lot of the pros there. But Sloane Stephens used to hang out. Like, she would be in the van with us going to games. She would have to call her mom and go to games with us, with my girls on the team.
Let me say this
But
before.
never knew that she would. It was 4 of them when they came in, but never knew that she was going to be.
Who was Sloan?
Where is she?
Who's the other one?
Coco.
Coco.
She didn't go to IMG.
She
though.
didn't go to IMG.
She's an IMG kid.
Let me say this before we go. Tonight there was a good game with a bunch of Hillsborough County kids. Eckerd versus
That's not tonight.
Wednesday.
Today.
Yeah.
Oh, it is
Yeah,
tonight. My bad.
okay,
My
see,
bad.
you ain't the only damn source, boy. I got people in the streets.
Oh, I knew the game. Who won?
I don't know. That's all I was gonna say. You
Eckerd
had
and who?
Malcolm Whitlow,
Oh, and
George Kimball,
yeah,
Will Willard.
Will
Leading the
Willard.
conference in 3-point shooting.
They all played tonight. So
Carr.
So I think it was a good game. I don't know
I'll tell
who
you
won.
right.
Yeah. So
This doing Wednesday
man,
podcast
well,
got me messed
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
go,
it.
but that's it, baby.
final word, Joe.
So what is this? So behind the lens is one of the videographers now. I guess they're gonna drop a list of 50 hoopers, and I guess they got all the video guys on here tagged, and they got some pictures of some of the guys. So that's gonna be interesting.
Behind 100% hoopers. What they're gonna drop 50 hoopers? Only drop 50 hoopers of what?
I guess locally.
Their best 50.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I don't know if they mean. Everybody else. Well, now they got some IMG kids on here.
Ooh, they won by 3.
Who did?
Eckerd.
They beat Florida.
I mean,
they
Whitlow
beat.
I'm pulling it up.
So maybe we'll share that list. Those are the video guys. They get a chance to get out and see everybody. I mean, it's all subjective, but I think it'd be fun to talk about that.
So we're back next Monday, right?
We are back on Mondays.
Monday's good, yeah.
Next Monday.
12.
Go out and check out some games because the season is winding down.
That's right.
people.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
I'll meet her.
Yeah.
It's the game of the week next week, Dave. You want to wait? Oh, no, wait till next
We'll
week.
do it
Save
Monday.
it for the podcast.
Yeah.
Save it for the show.
All right.
All right, Joe, take us out, man.
We out of here, y'all.
Torres got to take us out. He behind the lens. over
Deuces. Thank you for joining us for our 2-hour show. 1 hour and 52 minutes.
So
Nah, I
much,
can't
so much
eat.
for getting out of here early today.
Now I can't eat because it passed 9 o'clock, boy.
I'm going to eat.
Thanks, Taurus. I'm going to eat.
Welcome to the weekly podcast that keeps it real about youth sport, social issues, and sports in general. The Final Word with your hosts, Joe, Dre, John, Chris, and Dave. And now, without further ado, presenting The Final Word.